Okay, I'm set to go. Got my microphone on. I think it's working. I see a little green light going back and forth. So anyway, thanks for watching Dunsmore Moving Dirt. If you're watching this video, I've decided to add this little introduction to it because I was putting it together here the other night, and it left out a lot of stuff that might help you understand what was going on in the video. If I hadn't done this, if you didn't watch the last video, you sure enough would be in the dark. So if you hadn't already watched the last video that I did, because it explains kind of what's going on about some irrigation water and stuff. And I moved away from the place. I had to walk the dozer 1.5 miles to a county road to get out of there. Someone had turned on the irrigation water, and I couldn't load my dozer up where I unloaded it, and I couldn't finish a job that I was fixing to do. So that'll kind of bring you up to speed where we're at. Where I'm at the shop. I'm in, it's a little office slash break room slash place to hide out, to cool off in the summertime, warm up in the wintertime, because my shop's not insulated, but this is, so it don't take much to keep it cool. It don't take much to keep it warm. So, and what I'll wind up doing is coming in here and I'll wind up taking a little nap. So a lot of times wife says, where are you going to be at? I said, out at the shop. Well, this is technically inside the shop, so I'm covered there. So anyway, if you'd went to watching the video and I didn't do this, you'd notice that in the video I had not too good of an attitude, and that's kind of odd for me not to have a good attitude when I'm out working. So what happened is, get back to the shop when we moved from the last video, and I'm just on the other side of the field on where this video was taking place. And I get in and I'm fixing to go probably 80 miles from where this place is and be there a month. So the landowner who I was talking about in the last video called me and he said, hey, can you come back? I said, well, I'm getting ready to go 80 miles from here and I'll be there for about a month. I said, can it wait? He said, no, I really need you now. He said, it's not for me, but it's for some of my kin folks. His brother lived up next to the highway, and he'd passed away several years ago, and the kids was trying to do some work to the house and stuff. And he said, what I need you to do, he said, to push or pull or get an old double wide mobile home and put it out in the field and just dig a little pit beside of it. We'll burn it and then we'll shove it off in the pit and cover it up. I said, okay. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll get back out there and do that, because I'm going to be gone for a month and won't be able to get back and do it. And he said they've tried to do it. And all he was doing was helping his kin folks. The kids and the grandkids was trying to clean the place up and get this house. And they had tried it with a skid steer and had borrowed a farm tractor from him and was trying to do it, and they just couldn't do it. So I said, okay. Well, usually I go look at a job before I move out on there. Well, this one I didn't. So I loaded back up. I was fixing to service my dozer and get it where I could take off again. So I called him and told him I was on my way. He said, I'll meet you and show you kind of what they want to do. He said, they'll probably be out there working. I said, okay. Well, he was going to meet me at the gate. And he told me kind of where it was. So he didn't say, don't pull in there. But when I got there, I could see that was the place, and there was some people standing, and they was kind of waving their arms like this is the place. I said, okay. So, I mean, it was a tight fit getting in. I barely got into the place. Got in there, and I don't even see no place to turn around, but if I can get my dozer off, it's easy to back the truck up without that dozer blade on there, without the dozer on there. So I said, okay. I said, show me what you need to do. And they went to showing me what needed to be done. And man, I didn't know how in the world. They had a double wide there, and they wanted to tear it out and push it out away from a part of the house that they had added on to. They wanted to leave it because it was a good house. And didn't have no place. I had one place on the back side. I had to go between a storage building and the house that they wanted to save. could barely get turning aiming at the double wide, and there was a tree back there, and I couldn't do nothing on the other side of the tree because there was a septic system back there, and they didn't want me to squash the tank. And on the front of the mobile double wide, there was trees. On the end that they wanted to tear out that wasn't next to the house, there was a big pecan tree with overhead wires there. So there was a ton of stuff, and in the front yard, even the trees was overgrown. I mean, I was raking them across the cab. I knew I was going to, so I told them, I said, you need to trim these trees up a little bit more. While I'm working on the backside, they said, okay, we'll cut it off. And I didn't think to look. I could see the field over there, and they just kind of pointed that away and said, we're going to push it out there in that field. That's what Paul, the landowner, said. He'd push it out there in his field, and they could bury it. So anyway, I'm walking back to the truck. Well, the guy that called me pulls up. He said, oh, I didn't want you pulling in here. And I go, well, I'm in here. He said, I want you to back out of here, go down the road 100 foot, turn in 2 double gates, metal gates where we take our tractors, and you'll be in the field. I said, okay. He said, can you back out? I said, boy, I don't know. I'd like to not got in here. And when you're backing up with that dozer on there, all you see is the blade. You can't see the back of your trailer. You can't see nothing. So he sat out in the road and made sure no cars was coming, because all I could do was just try to see where the end of my trailer was, and the gate was just wide enough for me to go through. And then I of course had to turn and go through it at the same time. So anyway, that was an ordeal. I got out on the road without taking any corner post out or anything. So then I went down the road 100 foot. He run down there, opened 2 double gates, and I pulled out there. It was a better place to unload. I had all the room in the world. So I unloaded, and he said, well, before you go around the field and come into where they took the fence out, he said, I need you to put these concrete tiles, roll them off in this irrigation ditch, which was running water. Remember the last video? It was running water, and cover them up with dirt. That way it'll be wider where I can go across it with my tractor if I have to. I had made a low water crossing in the ditch years ago. He could drive across there, but then he wanted something if water was running through the ditch, they could get across. So I did that, got that done, covered it up with dirt. And he said, just head around the edge of the field and you can come in to the yard there where the mobile home was. I said, okay. And I never thought about it, because I crossed this irrigation ditch. I start walking around there to the other side of the place. Here's the fence took down. I'm in the field. The double wide's over there where it always was, but there's a ditch running water between us. I said, how am I supposed to get over there? You can't cross that ditch? I said, no, not unless you want me to just stay in the bottom of it. I said, it's running water, and them little side ditches that they run the water down, they're real steep. I mean, and they're real steep, and it was soft, and it was running quite a bit of water. So I said, now let me ask you something else. I said, where are we going to shove the double wide when I get it away from that house? He said, over here in this field. I said, how am I supposed to cross this ditch? It's running water. Oh, you can figure it out. You can shove dirt in there, can't you? I said, yeah, but I said, it's running so much water, every load of dirt I shove in there, it's going to soak it up, and it's going to be mud time I get another load on there. I said, can you get the water shut off? He said, well, I'll work on that. He said, you just get in there and start pushing them double wide away from that house. So then I had to figure out how to get in there without getting stuck. I was in there, but I had to back out on the road and come all the way around. So right off the bat, everything's starting to go to heck in a handbasket, you know. And I mean, I'm getting to think, what did I get myself into, you know? So anyway, so I walked back around to where I unloaded, and there was a narrow strip between their fence and the water ditch that water's running down. Of course, there was some trees. So I knocked a couple trees down. Then I could tell they wanted to save these other ones, so I didn't knock them down. And I'm walking through there, and them limbs is going alongside that dozer, raking a cab and everything. And that's not helping my attitude any either. So I get over there. They got the fence tore down. So I start to get over there and get in behind that mobile home, double wide, and you'll see, I mean, it's a mess. I'm trying to shove it away from this house that they're wanting to save. And I remember as I was putting this video together, I said, boy, it's going to take a miracle for me to do all of this, get it out of there without either hitting this other house they want to save. Because if I touch it, it's just it'll knock it off of the blocks and everything. And this double wide was built. They said he had put it out there in 1980. I mean, this thing was built good, because I mean, I'd hit it with that dozer and just pieces of it would move. So anyway, that you'll see all that in the video, but it was just one of those jobs. I mean, I'd have been probably better prepared, or maybe a better attitude, if I'd have seen it before I drove up there to do it. But sometimes you just can't do it. And I mean, I didn't see how any way in the world that I was going to accomplish this short of a miracle. Well, when I was putting the video back together, I said, you know, I said that, and I caught myself saying it because it's on film, audio, you'll see it. But I said, it's going to take a miracle for me to do what they're wanting to do here. I said, I just do not have room to work. And then besides that, you'll see I almost messed up. Besides raking limbs across the cab of the dozer, which I wasn't very happy about that. They had an overhang on the porch. You'll see in the video, I hit the columns of this porch. It was just 4x4s holding it up, and I didn't think nothing of it. I hit one, and both of them, and one of them was a little bit bent. While I went beside that to hit that other one, I didn't think there was any weight on there. As soon as I touched that 4x4, that thing come crashing down, and I knew it sounded bad because it landed on that step where you step to open the door. And if it would have been that K, I think it'd have broke it off, because that K was just bolted on there with some pretty light metal, and it had stuff under it, computer parts on that side, and a fuse box and stuff on. I mean, it'd have tore it off, because that other dozer, you could step on it and I'd hit it with some stuff and it'd bend it up. But this one's made of metal, but I didn't know, because it was right up against my engine compartment, so I don't know if it scratched anything up at that time, and that didn't make me very happy. But anyway, that's the story behind the story, or the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey used to say. But it struck me as funny when I said it was going to take a miracle for this to even be accomplished. And I got to thinking about it. And you know, a lot of times in life, things happen, and we don't ever give credit where credit's due. Now, I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, and I believe that any part of my life, He is involved in it. And despite my attitude that I had when I went into this, I think He did a miracle, because it wound up looking pretty good. And there's no way, I could not see how in the world I was going to get that done. So I just think that He might have done a little miracle. I mean, I know it's not the miracle that you read about in the Bible, but anything that He helps us with in our life that we couldn't do ourselves, I think that could be called a miracle. But it sure took something beyond what I could do to get this thing looking like I was wanting it to look, and accomplishing what they wanted me to do. So anyway, I thought I'd just kind of share that with you, and just look for things in your life and give credit where credit's due when something turns out better than what you thought it was supposed to be, because we don't ever know. We don't get warned before something happens a lot of times. We would like to, but there's a lot of things in life. I mean, you wake up and stuff just happens, and like I say, being a follower of Jesus Christ, I know He's involved with every aspect of my life, and I'm glad He is, because I'd be in a heck of a shape if He wasn't. So anyway, I wanted just to put this in as kind of a introduction to the video. So the video is kind of long, and I tried to speed it up at the end, so don't let that scare you. It's probably over an hour, and then by the time I add this right here, oh man, I've been talking for 14 minutes, and I may have to start telling stories instead of showing bulldozer driving. But anyway, thanks again for watching. Hope y'all enjoy the video. Bye. Okay, I'm fixing to try to get back here and tear down an old trailer. put it in the pile, get it across this irrigation ditch, and so they can burn it out in that field. So thanks for watching Dunsmore moving dirt, except we're moving an old house. So we're going to see what we get into. Had to get across an irrigation ditch and everything. Save part of the house. That's the problem. I've got a tree to work around. I've got all kinds of stuff. Wires. Too much stuff trying to go around. Part of that's built on, and they want to save it this end of this house here. I don't know what I'm going to get into. They want to try to save where this door is. Where the door is, we're saving from there back the other way. This part's supposed to come undone. We'll see. I don't know. I got people guiding me, and it's going to be a miracle. Trouble is, I can't. Keep hitting this for about that tree and then get to the other side. I got to get the roof to come down or I can't move it with a bulldozer. see what I scratched up when that roof come down on that horse. I didn't think that other post was holding it up. I was wrong. Okay, we have separation. Don't brag yet, guys. back on the other side and get that roof out of the way. Septic tank right out through there, so I can't get over there and push. Where I'm at is where I was at the other day when I moved out and walked the dozer across the field. In that video, I was right over here in this field, but they decided that they needed this done, and I got away before they figured it out, so I come back. Okay, at least I can get this part of it out of the way. I've never had one so hard I can't get to the, or in such a tight spot. Modular home. That rascal was built pretty dead. I hadn't seen houses that can't get hard to pop loose. Insulation just, I'm limited to where I can push. And I am a little careful since this dozer has got 74 hours on it, and I'm here running around to the floors. Everything, and it's just must have been on the ground, I guess. how the rest of the roof will come down since they just said this was built in the 80s, so it was pretty well built. I'll get these center studs out and that roof will just fall down. Then I've got it. Oh, 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 oh. No, no, no. last time I got to come over here. They said that big tree right there in front of us can come down. I've got to get it a little bit flatter. Be ashamed to knock that out, and then after getting the house pulled away from it, the part they want to save, that would be bad. I was hoping the frame would start moving. There we go. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted right there. Piece of copper, almost take a hose out. like I'll turn here in a minute and you can see it. There's the old part that I pulled it away from, so right here's where it's sitting, right where we's at. So that little project's out of the way. I'm kind of glad. That was kind of a pain. Looks pretty good. That's pretty crowded. I just never had tried to do one that tight of quarters with stuff in the way and stuff they wanted to leave and power lines and big pecan trees. Dig a little pit beside that trash, and what they don't burn, they'll either shove it off the pit or I can come back and do it. I've got to open up that drainage ditch. I'm dreading that. That thing's wet. That ain't got a lot of water in it.